Hey guys, it's Athena. Welcome back to my channel. Hopefully I'm coming to you guys in HD. I'm recording on my iPad for the first time. All of my videos since the genesis of my YouTube channel have been on my MacBook, and it's like a FaceTime kind of camera, so it's not the best quality, but hopefully this is a little bit better. I have to get used to looking at the camera in the left-hand side. For me, I'm used to just looking straight ahead, but because it's over here, I have my iPad laid sideways to fit kind of the YouTube format. I have to get used to looking over there. But oh my gosh, Happy New Year's to everybody. It's 2025, which is really exciting. A fresh slate, a new year, new hopes, new dreams. And I thought that today's video could be really cool for making a vision board. My grandma was the one who always kind of talked about vision boards growing up and like the power that they had. And I think that they can be really great as like both an artistic exercise and as just kind of like, sometimes like I don't really have necessarily like an exact goal of what I want the vision board to be. I just kind of have just a general idea. I got some magazines at one of the bookstores here. It's called Indigo, but it's kind of like a Barnes and Noble. And so I got two different magazines that I'll get into. And so I'm just kind of going at this just very like stream of consciousness. You guys know for my channel, mostly everything is just stream of consciousness with me. But yeah, so I got this poster board from Walmart, and I'm not usually a hot pink kind of girl. I'm more of like a lighter pink I like, but this is what they had and I thought it's pink, so that's what counts. And I don't think I'm going to be making my vision board as big as this, but I'm just going to kind of make it so that it's a little bit smaller. But oh my gosh, haven't done a video sitting down for a while. It's really nice to finally be able to sit down and kind of catch up. I always kind of, want my YouTube channel to be, just like kept up with and really like put the work in and, keep kind of the journey of my story going. And, I find it can be really difficult at certain points to kind of keep up with it. Being on camera isn't the easiest always, especially with OCD and different things. So it can be really hard to do that. But, I'm trying. And what better way to start off the year than with a new video and a new kind of just fresh take, a fresh look at my thoughts and ideas and everything. So I think this is going to be a good size. Again, I keep looking over here because I'm just so used to it, but it's over here. So I think this will be a really good size. And so at the bookstore, of course, I saw this and I was like, I just have to get this. I thought this was like the cutest, most amazing thing ever. It's like this Barbie movie star kind of thing, like a little kit with like magazine and stuff. And I don't know, it makes my spirit so happy with this kind of stuff. Like just $20, but I don't know, part of me is like it's worth it for like that inner child. And just, I mean, it's like it's garbage. It's literally like all this stuff is garbage, but it's like still so beautiful and it's just special. And hopefully there's going to be some cool things to pull for the vision board from this. So I'm really excited to kind of get into this. And then second but not least, or I guess last but not least, I have this magazine, and this was one my boyfriend had pointed out and kind of pushed me towards getting because I had seen the name of it and I was like, Epoch, isn't that something to do with like a period of time? And he was like, yeah, I think so. So we looked up on his phone. It's all kind of like closed. So it's one of those like artsy kind of magazines. So it has like the plastic. You can't see what's inside of it. So we looked up on his phone and it showed some of the pictures. And there was like a lot of just really cool like avant-garde photography and words and pictures and things. So that's kind of what I like for my vision boards. I kind of like things to be like words words that you resonate with, the images you resonate with. So I thought that this could be really cool to kind of like delve in. I haven't even looked at it. I haven't looked at the Barbie one either. So yeah, we'll just jump in. And I just have scissors and a glue stick, and we're just literally gonna spend time together doing this. And just, you know, kind of coming at this very organically. You know, a lot of people, or I've had people in the past say, you know, like your videos are really long and they're not edited, but, you know, some of my favorite videos from the people that I've watched growing up have been like hour-long videos of them just doing like really simple things, but it can be comforting to have something on in the background, kind of hear the person and just kind of like have something very just kind of relaxed. So it's really cool. It says metamorphosis on the side of this, which is really apropos. So yeah, we'll just get started. And again, it's like kind of just like all of these like really sort of just like artistic images and quotes and pictures and all different kinds of stuff. So I'm really excited to see like what kind of things like pull at me and everything. So let's see. How about you guys? How are you guys feeling about New Year's? Do you have any New Year's vision board ideas, goals that you'd like to see happen this year? Definitely let me know. I'd love to hear about them and talk about them with you. Okay, I really like this. It says chrysalis, which I really like that word. I believe it has to do with the process of butterflies and their kind of transformation from caterpillars into butterflies. One of the art pieces I did in art school, I titled Chrysalis. I think that would be really cool to put it on the vision board. So we'll do that first. And there honestly might be editing in this because doing it in real time is going to be like way too long, but that'll be okay. I can edit it as I go. And I had actually done one of these on my channel years and years and years ago when I was really kind of making videos very earnestly, very like all the time. And I don't know, I think especially like, you know, when you do something for a long time and you put a lot of effort into it and then you look back on it, you can have kind of this like nostalgia for that period. And I really just kind of like look at that version of myself at that time, and I feel like I was just really like at the best of certain things, and I was in a really good place, and you know, I really liked kind of the content that I was making. So you know, I feel like I'd like to, you know, emulate that and replicate that for the new year and moving forward with my channel. But you know, it's always easier to say than to actually do and practice. It can be very hard to make videos and keep up with it and all of that. And also, you know, having something meaningful to say, it can be hard, especially if you feel like you want to make things that feel meaningful. But yeah, it's not going to be perfect. It's not like, you know, perfect craftsmanship or anything, but I think this will be great. And I'll kind of design it. I don't know, maybe I was thinking like we could put a girl in the center, but I don't know, maybe we should have like the word in the center and then kind of like branch out and go from there. It'd be kind of cool. But I might hold off on making a decision, I guess, on what I'm gonna put exactly. So until maybe later. But I actually took a class, I really like collage, and I actually took a class that was really heavily based in collage. And it was actually one of the projects I did was the chrysalis project for that class. And it was just really interesting and really like kind of a cool artistic practice to just, you know, do a bunch of collages, whether they were digital or like real life, pulling from like real media, physical media. So that was a really cool, it was a really hard class. It took a lot, but you know, it was really like worth it. I feel like a lot of really great work came out of that. So like this is interesting. Like there's just a lot of photography in this that says like if you can wake up, there is always another morning, which is just, you know, like this just seemed like a very like David LaChapelle, very, you know, kind of very art housey kind of magazine. This reminds me so much of what is it, Requiem for a Dream? Looks like the poster for that. For some reason, I'm drawn to this word too, meta. Meta is kind of a word that I feel kind of the need to say and use in like defending kind of my stylistic choices and my artistic choices. I feel like I kind of say that word as a way to show that I am self-aware. I usually like things that are, I mean, they don't have to be self-aware, but like sometimes it feels like a word that is sophisticated but conveys that like even if other people think it's crazy, you're like, no, I know what I'm doing, you know? And I'm aware of what I'm doing at the very least, even if it still comes across as crazy. So I like that. I like that. It's very meta. We have meta, chrysalis. It's also really cool with collage because I feel like so many times there's just such a specific aesthetic for collage where like it just always kind of looks good no matter what you do because it's like different fonts and colors and styles and like all these things. So it just, it always like really looks good. I know I'm doing so many words, but I see a couple more words that I like. North stars. I like that. It says North Stars. I like the idea of a North Star. I heard that kind of phrase for the first time maybe 2 years ago. And someone said like, oh, this is my North Star. And I didn't really understand like what it meant until later, but I really like that. I think it's kind of a beautiful saying, and you can say it about a lot of things. You can say a person is your North Star. You can say that something that inspires you is a North Star for you. It's just kind of like something that guides you back home or is like representative of just something that like, I guess is like the basis of like something that's very important and meaningful to you, from my understanding at least. I think I was talking about it earlier, but I don't remember if I finished my thought on it. But what I was saying about my last vision board, I had done a vision board like years and years ago, and I'm just curious about the process of how I did that. Like, I don't know if I sat the whole time and just did like a couple things, because I don't think I would have made like a lot of edits to it at the time. So even if it feels awkward now, I'm like, I did it before. So we'll open this one up. So I have this, and it comes with, I think, the magazine is what I was like really interested in for using for this project. And this is so cute. It's like a little, it says movie star set. So that is just so cute. One of my favorite Barbies is Superstar Barbie from the 80s. And this just kind of like reminds me of that. So that's really, really cute. Have that. Then it comes with like some coloring stuff, which is really cool. You know, and Barbie is always a source of inspiration for me. You know, whether it's like from a lifestyle perspective, careers, you know, just kind of that having like a figure that can be and do it all and, you know, look amazing while doing it. There's this really incredible quote from the movie Life Size with Tyra Banks and Lindsay Lohan. And this guy's asking Tyra Banks' character, she's a doll that comes to life, and her name is Eve. And the guy's like, so what do you do for work? And she's like, well, it depends on what outfit I'm wearing. And that is just such a like, I don't know, I just love that. It just feels so like something I would say. Like, it's just very like, well, it just depends on what outfit I'm wearing, you know? So it's kind of cool. And it makes me think of that. I really liked this picture. This reminds me a lot of this new art piece that I did. And that's another thing too. I have been waiting. I have 3 new art pieces that I've been working on, and I've been wanting to make a video on them. And I'm really excited to, but I'm just working on finishing the last piece. They're all separate, but I just thought that it'd be really cool to show like 3 new pieces on my channel. One of my goals for the new year is to actually have my website and everything, and just get my art up there, and just kind of get like that ball rolling of like getting the work out there. I feel like I've spent years practicing, getting better at drawing, learning the software that I use, which is Procreate. And I feel like now I'm finally at a place where like I'm starting to do work that feels like, okay, I can envision something and now I can make it. Because that's something I've always struggled with as an artist, like the desire to make something look a certain way, but not having like the ability to or the tools to do it. And like I still don't, but I'm getting better with every piece that I do. So I just, I think that feels really cool. I've put in like having that software, I've put in the work of learning it for like almost 4 years now, 3.5 years. So, I didn't even know how to do anything, starting from like zero, literally. And then having my sister help me figure out like how to even draw on the iPad, to now I'm doing like just these digital paintings that are like of my wildest dreams. So it's really cool. And I can't wait to do that. Oh, I see something I like already. This Reach for the Stars is so cute. But yeah, that's one of the things, one of the videos that I have been really wanting to make, just because it just feels really meaningful. It's something that's so important to me, and it's something that I really just have not shared enough with on my channel, is like, art and stuff. And, because that's just such a driving force of my being, if not the only. So, it's really like one of the things that means the most to me in life. But the problem is that it takes time and effort and integrity, and you kind of have to really do the work. Like each piece I've done has taken me about a month. This last piece I've struggled with, and I've kind of gone in a lot of different directions. Usually for me with art, it's kind of like, and that was something I kind of wanted to talk about in that video, but usually for me it's kind of like I don't always know exactly where I'm going, and then the piece kind of unfolds itself to me, and it kind of tells me what it wants to be or needs to be. And then I'll keep kind of going down different avenues, and seeing like, okay, now it's unfolding like this, or now I kind of want it to feel more like this, or oh, I spent a week doing this background, but that actually doesn't feel right, we're going to go in this direction. So it really can be, and I try to limit it. Like you can't obviously change constantly, but I think the pressure I felt with the last piece of just really doing something that feels like, okay, let's keep hitting the bar, let's keep getting better and better, that it has changed quite a bit. The piece has. And it's actually really cool because the one thing that drew me into the magazine, like I was saying earlier, was this picture of all the girls together, the mermaids and the fairies, and that's actually a poster in here, because I was worried it wasn't even going to be in the magazine, but it's actually a poster that you get. So that's cool, because that means there's going to be a lot of material to work with. Oh my gosh. And that's so funny. What I was just cutting was actually into that poster. So it's this and then that on the other side. So I used to have like a big collection of Vogue magazines when I was a teenager. I think I had like a subscription to it or something at one point. Or then I also would just like buy them. And I don't know, but for a long time I had like a big catalog to choose from, because magazines are expensive, believe it or not. Like even if you just want like a Vogue magazine or something, like especially if you don't want like a US copy, if you want the more like high fashion, like Vogue Italia, Vogue Japan, Vogue, like British Vogue, like all of that, like that's kind of where the real fashion stuff is, and like the more like haute couture, avant-garde, American Vogue is good, but I don't think it takes as many risks as like International Vogue, and those are always like $20, $15, you know. So it's a lot, and I used to have a big collection of them. So yeah, again, this is not like, I'm not really doing this to be like very artistic in terms of like the craftsmanship of it. I would, if I was like actually doing something, I'd like really take my time. I'd have an X-Acto knife. I'd, you know, do all of that. But this isn't really about that. It's not about what it looks like. It's about what it represents. So we're gonna do Barbie. We're gonna have her on there, of course. And it's also hard because your vision board is kind of dictated by whatever you have. So even if you have like ideas of like, oh, I want to have something that represents my art, or I want to have something that represents this, it's like, if it's not in the magazine, you're not going to have it on there. So you have to really like believe in it and just search for it. Okay, I really love this trophy. I have kind of this I don't know, you know, I have this like fantasy in my head of, you know, I don't know what the award, I don't know if it's like actually being on stage and having an award, or if it's something that comes from an internal place, like winning an award, like feeling like what you're doing in life has purpose and has like a bigger message and like more value to it is just something that like I think pretty much every human being feels. You want to feel like your existence is valid, why you're here means something, you know, like a bigger purpose, and, you know, to just feel, you know, seen and to just feel kind of like accepted. I feel like a trophy and something especially like, you know, actresses are always known for their kind of like acceptance speeches and their kind of whole like, this award means so much to me. Like, I think that in our culture, you know, awards, you know, maybe I won't ever be on like a stage accepting an award, but like, even to just visualize feeling this, like to feel like, you know, to feel that within myself, to have that trophy, that award, that recognition, that self kind of like appreciation is something that is very important to me. And I was talking to my boyfriend about it too. I feel like with vision boards, you know, it doesn't have to be something that is just for 1 year. They can be things that are bigger ideas, like for your life, like themes that you want to see throughout your life, and you're kind of just visualizing them. So, and that really like it really is, it's not so much like the trophy itself, of course, but what it represents. Like it represents kind of that, oh my gosh, like everything I've done has come to like a better purpose and a higher meaning. And, you know, again, like sometimes it hopefully can just come from within, because that's really like, you know, the truth of it is that like if you can feel that in yourself, then, you know, you've made it. You've made it when you say to yourself you've made it and you really feel it and believe it. But there is a trap with a lot of things where, and even with ego, when you tie ego in, where you want other people to give it to you and say it and think it and believe it too with you. And but really at the end of the day, the raw and the real is if you can give it to yourself. And also, you know, 2024 has been a really big year for me. Many things have happened. There has been so much growth, so much, you know, just kind of like really fighting for myself and really kind of getting myself out there, you know, literally. I graduated college back in the spring of this year. That was a huge feat to kind of undertake. College was really arduous, long. I, of course, learned a lot, but it was a really long process. And I'm really happy to have graduated. Furthering education would be really cool, like getting a master's of fine arts would be really great, and kind of, you know, learning the things for that. That's for kind of another time. That's something I'd like to look into, but it doesn't have to be right now. And yeah, I mean, there's just been so much, I moved out of my mom's house and I'm with my boyfriend now full time. We've made kind of this whole journey, our transition of like, being in a long distance relationship for many years, trying to figure out the puzzle pieces. And, now we're in a space where we're together. We've been living together for like 3.5 months, 4 months full time, just like constantly together. So, and I've known my boyfriend for almost like 6 years now. So it's just really like, it's like something we've been working for so long. And, finally we've got to kind of reap what we've sowed for a lot of things. Like, it's just like, it's really nice. And I think that that's something for 2025. It's so nice when you put in the work for things and you finally, like, it's kind of like the thing with the art pieces too, where it's like I can say, oh, I have 3 new pieces, but nobody really knows. Like, okay, like I'll post it on Instagram, but nobody really feels it, nobody really sees it until it's like, at an art gallery, or if it's at like a artist kind of showcase, like where you have prints of it. Like, that's really the moments I feel like when people kind of like understand the integrity of what you're doing. And I feel like, especially like with our relationship, like we finally like we've had the garden, we've envisioned it, we've done the blueprinting, we've done the planting the seeds, we've done the waiting, we've gone seasons after season of waiting for the crop to flourish, for the flowers to bloom, and it's just like finally like the pieces have fallen together and we are starting like that journey. And it's just so nice because there has been so much effort put into everything behind it that like it's just, and it doesn't mean like, of course there's so many trials and tribulations, that's how life is, but it's just really really nice to be able to kind of reap what you sow. And I really like, I hope that with 2025 there's more of that. And there's more creating of that. And that would just be like really special. But I definitely feel like 2024 was the year of seeing the progress of the work that I've done, even though it had taken a really long time. I think that there were breakthrough moments, especially like doing the photo shoots and really like kind of putting myself out there. I collected Barbie for a few years, and I had talked about that on my YouTube channel, but I really just, I wasn't living the life that I wanted to live. I had just moved somewhere that, in Greensboro in North Carolina, and it wasn't like the place. I had just come from like Long Beach, and I was just kind of figuring myself out as an adult. I was like 21 when I left, and I was like just kind of coming into a lot of things. And then I moved to Greensboro, and it was just really hard. And I finished my degree there, and I was in an environment that was completely different. And, I was working at these jobs that were just very difficult and interacting with a lot of people, but not really living like a life for myself. And, I got into with collecting Barbie, and I just kind of realized, I was like, do I want to be collecting her, or do I want to be living like her and treating myself that way? And like, as beautiful as the object itself is, it's like if you can be that, and if you can treat yourself that way, that's gonna be much more rewarding. So I really have tried to like, put myself out there and to, into experiences and into seeing things. And it's like, you know, I should be talking while I'm looking at this to find images, but it really has been like a year of kind of like, it's a one woman show with like the kind of like, I guess, ideas of it, but then having the support of family and my boyfriend and everything, like to take the pictures and everything. Like, it's not like I'm being scouted to do modeling shoots. It's literally like I have an idea, I have this, passion, I have this vision, and then, you'll have, my sister will be holding the camera and she'll, be helping make that happen, or my brother, or my mom, or my boyfriend, and it's like these people are kind of like helping you, and it's all just like very like down to earth. Like it's not like there's no like, it's literally like creating for the sake of creating. There's no profit, there's no turnover, there's no like, it's literally all part of that, like, building the garden and trying to like get yourself out there to create a legacy for yourself and all of these things. So that has been something that I've been exploring in 2024, and something I'd like to keep doing. And it feels, of course, everything is so layered, and I can be very meta and very aware of it all, but it does feel really nice, especially coming from a place of feeling like I was in this cocoon for so long, and I was dealing with so many different things and struggling, which I still struggle to this day, but it's kind of like struggling in a different space inside of yourself, and a different, just in a different way. It's kind of like, I've taken steps to better myself and to be, different and move kind of and keep growing. I feel like, multiple things can be true at once. Like you can have, these periods of and moments of growth while also, struggling. Like I have that video of mine, like believing in yourself even if you don't believe it yourself, and like I'm still there, you know what I mean? Like I'm still in the flames of figuring out many different things, and inner battles, external battles, the bigger questions of life, mental health, all of these things, like, relationships with the mirror, relationships to food, relationships with other people, relationships with myself. Like, all of that is, I mean, it is like cracked open and is just everything's, spilled out, like all of it, everything with that. But, the point is that it's like, you can still have the positive kind of pockets, and you can still see kind of like the flowers growing through the cracks of cement that, life lays, or that you've laid yourself, or whatever, the kind of, you can see like the certain pockets. So it's not like, oh my gosh, life is a fairy tale. It's absolutely not. And you guys know, coming on camera, it's like, coming on camera, you can always appear, and you should always take things with a grain of salt, but it is true, we do put our best selves forward, and nothing wrong with that. It is just something that our society does, and we do as people. But it would be really nice, I think, for my channel. It's like I've had so many videos kind of talking about things that are very real and raw and vulnerable, but I think that, and I'd like to keep doing that, but I think that I'd also like to have things like this, doing the vision board, sharing the art, I think that having a well-rounded kind of content is really good, because it can be hard. It can be hard to put yourself out there and like look back at stuff, and or whatever it is, I mean, it can be anything, but this, it doesn't mean that it's like a total shift in any way, but I just think that it's really nice. I'd like to share more things that I care about, things that are kind of like bigger ideas to me. This is kind of interesting. This is, what is it? Is it Maslow, or Maslow's Maslow's hierarchy of needs? That's really interesting to me. I remember learning about that in one of my psychology classes, and I think that that could be a really cool symbol. It's kind of like you, with the hierarchy of needs, it's like it is this pyramid, because you, in order to have the self-actualization at the very top, you have to have everything else, and to really feel it, and to really be able to experience it in all of its depths. It's kind of like how I was saying about, yes, you could even win an award and not really even feel like you deserve it, or really feel it, if you don't give it to yourself already. And it's really interesting to me. I didn't realize that self-esteem is right below self-actualization. Confidence, achievement, respect of others, the need to be a unique individual. So it's just very interesting. I think this is really cool. It's a really cool symbol to put on there. So I've actually found, I think, all of the pieces that I really want to use for my vision board. I don't have too much. I am working off of 2 magazines, and I can be pretty picky with my symbols and ideas and messages and stuff, but I did find some really good stuff. And I am going to go off camera, arrange it, and then come back and show you guys. Okay guys, so I just finished putting together my vision board, and it's a little bit smaller than I thought it was going to be. I kind of have the size again, but that's okay. You know, I'm an artist, I'm picky with the images and words, but I do think I kind of made a cool story for myself for my vision board. I think chrysalis is really interesting for transformation and kind of like that whole process. I've had so much of that in my life. Really interesting, the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, especially self-esteem before self-actualization. Very important. Giving yourself the trophy before you can really accept it in the outside world. Reaching for the stars, of course. These are bigger themes. These are not very literal. These are very like bigger, but that's kind of, I'm much more of a conceptual person than a literal person. So I think that that makes sense. Of course, we have Barbie, representing to me that you can be anything. I can be anything, and be absolutely glamorous while doing it. And meta, always be meta forever, and your North Star. Always come back to what is home for you, what is purposeful, what is meaningful, staying true to your intentions and your beliefs and your visions and dreams for yourself. And, you know, just kind of letting those things guide you, towards what you really want and having it for yourself. So, little thumbnail. I'm not sure where to look. Still not sure. Okay, look here, look. But thank you guys so much for watching, and you guys can always make a vision board for yourself. These can be really cool. You'll never know kind of what comes out. Just pick a couple magazines that speak to you and just go and just cut it out and do it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.